unfolding before us. And this should be, this is a space and a place where this is the training ground to do that. So at this moment, it's like we're the scientists. We're really looking to explore our responses to life. And if we notice that doing this is hard, a lot of people will say sitting still is hard. It should not necessarily be of a concern, right? Because I'm not trying to trigger further patterns of quote, I just can't do anything right? It's, again, the ability to surrender to life as it unfolds within you and around you. And that surrendering could come in form of, wow, I didn't know that was my experience. Wow, I do really try to manipulate the moment or get out of a situation, and that's interesting. So here I am again. I'm going to take 3 deep breaths and drop back in. So go ahead and straighten the left leg out. Let's just move my little drum here. Don't sit up. Stay sitting down. Keep relaxing. So just move the feet back and forth a little bit. Good. Deep breath in or yawn like me, because my body is saying, gosh, thank you. It's early in the morning. I'm shooting this while my house is sleeping, and I went to bed very early last night because I knew I would be doing this today, and my body is signaling to me right now how much rest it still actually needs. All right, so we're going to move into a twist. So you bring the right knee up, and we're going to take the right leg over the body. The right arm is out to the side, and you can let the left hand just relax on the right thigh somewhere. And so we're just going to we're going to be here for about 90 seconds to 2 minutes, surrendering. So the interesting thing about yoga and yin is that when the postures start to become more difficult, right? So, and I'm not saying that this is a difficult posture, but it may be, at least for me, it's on a difficult scale. It's more difficult than the posture that we just did. So I have more tightness in my body doing a twist than I do drawing my knee up into my chest. So again, and can you imagine trying to keep this open mindset and the breath full and deep if we were attempting to do a handstand or put our leg behind the head? So different forms of the body, right? Goal remains the same. Connect to life as it's unfolding within you and around you. Goal of yoga never changes. Leg behind the head. Shifting your mindset around procrastinating to get a report done. Kind of the same thing, right? So goal never changes. Connecting, surrendering to life as it's unfolding within you and around you. When we get into places where the form is different, the reality changes, we need to shift how we show up for that goal. sometimes it's looking for support, right? Like right here. I can't get a deep breath if I'm really trying to take my eye gaze over to the right. Well, who cares? Bring it over to the left. You know? There is a time and place for us to push harder, work harder, explore the edge. Yin can bring us to the edge, but right now, here with you and me, I'm more interested in supporting your surrender than I am pushing you over the edge. And supporting your surrender is, do not mistake it, supporting your surrender is pushing you over an edge. It absolutely is. We're just redefining that edge together. All right, so let's bring that knee back up into the chest. And take the knee down. All right, left leg comes up and over the body. This practice, you can think of it as offering, right? Like offering your body forms so that the innate wisdom of your body feels like it's being seen, heard, and validated, and you're handing the controls over. So you're putting your body in forms that supports the functioning of the body. We need to surrender to that. We surrender to our body 24/7. The fact that we don't know how to make our hearts beat mentally, that we breathe involuntarily, that we digest our food. So yin yoga, and any time really, that we embrace this idea of connecting with life at any given moment as it unfolds within you and around you, we are offering our bodies this amazing opportunity to shine. We're co-creating with our entire being instead of the control center that lives between our ears. All right. Left knee comes up. It's amazing. I do a vigorous yoga practice a couple of times a week, and it's amazing that the idea of surrender and doing these postures really, it brings up every single time how much rest my body actually needs. Okay, so we're going to take our block and we're going to bend the knees, right? And lift up the hips. And you're going to take your block at the medium height and slide it underneath your sacrum. And I will, this is a disclaimer on this posture. It's my favorite posture in the entire world. It became my favorite posture after I had my son 3 years ago. I'm not sure if, I'm sure some of it has to do with all of a sudden, well, not all of a sudden, but I had a cesarean, and so I have a lot of scar tissue right here, and so I'm not quite sure if perhaps I have like bands of just fascia that is just wrapped up in scar tissue. I think the majority of us that are sitting at desks, and so our hip flexors are constantly being contracted. But the opportunity that this posture, and I'm sure that you all are experiencing it right now, the opportunity that this posture gives us to feel the layers and layers, physical, energetic release. It blows my mind every time, whether I do this posture at 5 a.m., 5 p.m., or 9 p.m. So I say a lot during any yoga class that I teach to release your jaw. I have a theory that by paying attention to certain parts of our bodies over and over again, kind of the usual suspects, the parts that we've realized over time that we are unconsciously tightening, unconsciously clenching. 30 minutes of yoga isn't going to make everything makes a difference, but if we are clenching our jaw 80% of the day, in these postures that we take, and we're unconsciously doing something, if we're unconsciously stressing out the muscles behind the eyes, if we aren't regularly tapping into the source of power that we hold in the palms of our hands and the soles of our feet, then our practice can become this opportunity to check in with these spaces that are relatively easy to soften and create space. So I spend a lot of my time while I'm in form, in postures, in yoga, releasing my jaw, relaxing the backs of my eyes, softening my hands and my feet. And what I find from that is the result that I get is that I have more of a release, more of an authentic release in the posture. It's almost as if it's like you take your focus away from what you are trying to achieve, and all of a sudden you achieve it. Or let go of the expectation. I let go of the expectation of what this form is supposed to feel like, look like. And I navigate this very intuitive place in my body where I know that I hold on to stress. It could be for you the neck, the shoulders. It could be the space between the eyebrows. It could be the hips. But it's been an intuitive path of learning where I unconsciously hold stress. So even as I've been sharing that with you for the last couple of minutes, I can feel, not so much, I'm not really focusing on my hip flexors at the moment, but the release, I'm sure you guys are feeling it as well, is just phenomenally divine. So just a few more breaths here. So we're going to press into the feet first. Lift the hips up off of the block. And move the block to the side and roll down the spine.